Yes, people, welcome back to another live stream. Of course, we're here for the Women's T20 World Cup preview. Um, a tournament that's almost gone under the radar with the FIFA World Cup taking place, um, almost overlapping with this one, basically. So this one isn't getting that much attention, but if you are a cricket lover, you will know that this is happening, and it is a big one for many teams. Of course, New Zealand women's team looking to go back to back. England at home looking to get back their crown and finally win it once again. And if you look at how then you've got five very very good teams that is contending for this, and which we'll get into who those are. Um, but joining me is, of course, you know him. He's always a regular on the channel. It's Money. Yes, Money, big up, man.
Yeah, big up to you too, boy, and good to be back. And this is definitely one World Cup I'm looking forward to, and it's sort of a nice break, really, from the craziness that's going on the other side of the Atlantic. So, yeah, certainly many big teams with points to prove after New Zealand's brilliant win. I'm not too sure if New Zealand will repeat it, but they're looking forward to obviously trying to prove a few people wrong, and there's no reason why they can't. But it's going to be hard for them, and looking forward to covering England's games and maybe watching a few others.
Mm. And then making his debut on the channel. It's usually known for his rugby, but he also does love the cricket. It is Janlu.
Good
Yes, man.
evening, hello, Mo. How are you doing? Yeah, looking forward to the T20 World Cup starting on Friday. And for me, the question as well: can New Zealand defend the title? We will be finding out in a couple of months. So, looking forward to it. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. Thank you for jumping on. So, but yeah, so of course, being held in England, that's gonna of course play into how the tournament shapes up. I think of conditions and that. Um, what what do you guys think about it being in England and of course Wales? Let's not forget that. But in terms of the conditions and this time of day, of course, it is. We saw of the first test up against England, up against New Zealand. On the men's side, that with the rain already playing a role, do you guys imagine that it will play another big impact on this World Cup?
Shamley, you can go first.
Yeah, I think like I said, in that England versus New Zealand Test series, the rain absolutely played a role, and I hopefully in the UK the weather. I'm sorry to say, hopefully not the weather is not going to play uh, play a big difference, but I think there will be a couple of games called off. So for me, this just I hope we could see a little bit more matches, but hopefully, like the UK weather, it's shining, and in a couple of minutes the sun is out. So so let's see what is going to happen there.
Yeah, I would agree with Janlu on that. And one thing I will say is obviously the Lord's pitch has been over the years renowned for being a pitch that would provide everything for both batsmen and bowlers, and it would always be a very evenly contested pitch. So so to see that type of result in the test between England and New Zealand, it definitely wasn't a really good advertisement for the home of cricket. Certainly not for the quality of the pitch. And I think, obviously we're going to get into the group stages and find out where, the first match is going to be played. I believe the first match will be on Friday. I would assume it would be, back at Lord's because, if it's a tournament hosted in England, the home of cricket has to have the first game. been played there. But we'll have to see if there's been any work done to try to improve the quality of that, to see if, if they can rectify it. And, let's not forget that during a test, teams can always use the heavy roller to try to slightly mitigate things. We'll see if there's some remedial work done on that. And of course, it's never a summer in England without the rain, as Jean-Louis said. But, you still get your share of exciting games whenever there's a World Cup being held in England. And of course, I don't think either of you chaps were born in 1999 when that semi-final took place. I think if you ask some of your elders, they'll tell you it was a horrible day. But you will still get some exciting cricket, and I do think we will definitely get some pretty good matches. And, of course, there'll be some teams that won't be expected to do very much, but, there's always going to be room for a surprise or two. So keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah, no, definitely. And speaking of possible surprises, let's get into the World Cup groups. So we'll just zoom in quickly, just so you guys can see. Of course, there are 6 teams in a pool. So Group 1 or Group A, I saved it as Group A. We'll get into that. We have Chelsea fan, hope you're well. And then, do go subscribe to Yandu's channel. Me is known for his rugby, and I know they have a few rugby fans on here as well. So do go subscribe to his channel. It should be pinned. If it's not working, just let me know, guys. But yes, here are the groups. So Group 1, we'll start off with that, of course. The difficult group, some would say. Got Australia, Bangladesh, India, Netherlands, Pakistan, and South Africa. And immediately you're looking at the 3 big names: Australia, India, South Africa. Of course, if we look at the last World Cup, if I can get that up just quickly, 2 seconds. The last World Cup, 24-25, India was again placed in a difficult pool with New Zealand and Australia, and they finished third. So India don't have the best of luck when it comes to the draws of the group. So where do you guys? We'll start from the bottom. Netherlands at the bottom, finishing last, or maybe a Bangladesh, or is it Netherlands really?
I think Netherlands will finish at the bottom.
Yeah, fair enough.
I would agree. And the thing about these women's associate teams is that for all of the strides that their male counterparts have made over the years, the women are just going to be that little bit behind. I did say that there would be maybe a surprise or two. And in fact, when you take a look at the 3 lower teams in that group, the Netherlands, Bangladesh, and even Pakistan, you've got to remember that there's not that much between the 3 of them. Whereas with South Africa, Australia, and India, it literally is a skirmish to the death, and one of those teams will end up not going through. So it's the top 2 going straight to the semi-finals, right?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, top 2.
Right.
There's
So just
third place.
Yeah, so just to answer the question, I think Netherlands will probably end up finishing bottom because Bangladesh and Pakistan might have a little bit more about them. So we can agree on that.
Well, saying that, Netherlands did beat Bangladesh on the 31st of May in the T20 Tri Series. But Bangladesh won the other game up against them as well. So, yeah, but I think I agree with you guys. I think Netherlands lost. Not really anyone big there. So yeah, and
But
then
just something to say there. Again, sorry. Netherlands making their debut as well, so they will be quite making their debut in the Cricket World Cup this year. So also a good opportunity for them to improve themselves. Let's see. We don't like I would say maybe we can see an upset or two, but I think Netherlands will not be so strong. I think they will finish as well at the bottom.
yeah, yeah, no, I understand. I get you on that. Of course, who's this? Of course, Buster Leader's cousin is
Mm.
playing in this World Cup for the Netherlands.
Mm.
Um, but a bit the leader, I
Puppet.
think so says
Yes.
their name. Um, so yeah, they're pretty young team. Looking at
Mm.
their ages, um, the oldest players are 29, so pretty good squad. If you're looking at age and building that experience upwards. So yeah, then you've
And of
got
course, Babette de Leder's uncle is none other than Timothy de Leder, who actually played for Holland in the 1996 ODI World Cup. I remember.
Mm.
so they're making strides at the Leader family. They're making some
Mm.
strides in cricket, and now fifth spot. I think it's gonna be Bangladesh. I would assume. Um, I just think Pakistan women they do have that extra bit of
Mm.
quality. Um, I don't know if you guys maybe disagree with me.
No, I would agree.
Mm.
Agree?
I
Yeah.
I agree, Anu. I think as well, Bangladesh women, Pakistan is a little bit too far ahead at the moment of Bangladesh, but Bangladesh, they can be quite. They can also maybe won Pakistan, but at the moment, I think Bangladesh will be going into the fifth place. Yes.
Okay, fifth place. Yeah. Okay. Um, I just want to have a look if they have any notable names in this squad. We'll go more in detail with the bigger teams, really. Um, yeah, I don't
I
see.
know Choti is a good player for Bangladesh. She's also the captain.
Uh, Joti. Don't see her being called up. Where is she? Don't think she's been called up for the T20 World Cup.
She did play
Um,
in the warm up games as well.
who? Who is it?
Choti.
Joti.
Choti.
Okay. Hmm.
Don't know
Oh,
if
I know.
people. Yeah.
Mm, I also know Fima Katun, the leg break bowler. She's also pretty
Mm.
good. But so yeah, they've got a few good players, Bangladesh, but nothing outstanding. And then
Mm.
um, Pakistan in fourth, or maybe a surprise India or South Africa.
I can't look beyond Pakistan finishing fourth. Let's not
Yeah.
forget that India's record against Pakistan is literally, it's just one-sided. It's complete dominance, and
Mm.
the only question is now who will be first, second, and third. But
Ah.
Pakistan, as you say, Hanno, probably just have a bit too much about them to finish fifth. They should finish fourth ahead of Bangladesh, but Pakistan should finish no higher.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
of course, Pakistan. They've got Fatima Sana,
Mm-hmm.
the captain, Aliyah Riza, who is also pretty good, and Diana Baig is also quite a good bowler, and the other two are good all rounders for them. Really see anyone else standing out for them. But yeah, I think that's maybe there's a shock, but if there is, then I think we'll just prove it wrong. But let's then look into the squads of the top three because that's gonna, I
Mm.
think, help us decide who who makes it. So the top three we agree will be Australia, India, and South Africa. It's just a case
Mm.
of who finishes where. So I'm gonna remove this for a quick second. Then have a look at the Australia women's squad. Of course, they've got a few new faces, I believe. So yeah. So starting off, of course, Phoebe Linkfield, Beth Mooney, and Georgia Ball. I haven't seen her or know her
Okay.
name. She seems to be new. Um, Sophie Molyneux, Tyler McGrath, Ashley Gardner, Kim Croft, Lucy Hamilton. That's a new
New
youngster
player.
as well.
Quite young,
Uh,
yes.
and then Grace Harris, of course, Alana King,
Uh,
Elise Perry, and Annabelle Sutherland. And then you've got Megan Scott, and then these two I don't know. Don't have a clue there.
Georgia Wareham is actually she's
mm.
played quite a few games, obviously, for Australia. Definitely a very useful leg break bowler. And Nicola Carey, 32 years old, she's been around the block. Probably hasn't really been a very big, important player, but she will certainly have a bit of a role to play. The big surprise, of course, with the likes of Alyssa Healy having retired, of course, is the selection of Sophie Molyneux as the new captain. Now, she's obviously been around for quite some time, but she has had a pretty poor injury record, and she is a decent all-rounder, good left-handed batswoman and left-arm spinner, and but she obviously has some captaincy experience, having led the Melbourne Renegades to their first Women's Big Bash League title in 2024. And since 2022, she's also captained her state of Victoria. So quite experienced, still much younger than several other members of the team. And certainly, she'll be expected to play a bit of a role. But again, with so many other more than decent all-rounders in the squad, it definitely looks quite middle-heavy. But you just know that some of these players will definitely have a big role to play. Annabelle
Yeah.
Sutherland, Alana King, leg break bowler.
Yeah.
Do not even think of ignoring her. And then
Yeah.
Elise Perry, of course, 35 years old. She's definitely been around the block for a very long time.
Yeah.
168 ODIs, 174 20
Yes.
T20 internationals, 15 tests for the Australia women. You get the feeling that this could very well be her international swan song too. So I think this looks a very, very, very well stacked squad, and the thing about Australia is that regardless of who the captain is, Australian teams do have a knack of really, really doing very well. It's just a question of who they believe would be the right choice to captain the team going forward, and they do put a lot of thought into it. So you've got to think that they'll be favourites based on quality to top the group and go a long way.
Yeah. If we look at the games, we'll have a quick look at some of the games. Australia women. So they beat West Indies, they beat England, warm up games, of course. They beat us also in the warm up game. Well, we also beat them, so yeah. They beat West Indies, so they look to be on form, beating West Indies. Not all at all, but sort of to get the job done. They look on good form, especially beating England as well. But Jan-Luc, what do you think of Australia before we move
I
on?
also I want to have a quick question here for. But I'm also looking for the question is how is Australia? They're normally good with pitching up in the conditions of the UK, but for me also a key player is Ashley Gardner. I don't know if you guys know. She's a
Yeah, we
leg
do.
spin bowler. She is quite. I also like the experience all rounder that she's playing because she can give you excellent spin bowling and as well batting. But this Australia side is absolutely the 11 that is they going to name on Saturday. We go into that later. Is going to be they have a really good side, so
Oh,
they will.
definitely. Stack side. Um, what do you got? What do you make of? Yeah, I think the bigger. I think Lucy Hamilton, of course, had left on pace, and then Emma Sutherland. I think they are going to play the big roles. And then when it comes to the spinning decks, you've got Sophie Molyneux, um, Gardner, and then
King.
Alana King as well. So I think they're pretty stacked. In
Don't forget
terms of
Megan
bowlers
Shutt.
and
Don't forget Megan Shutt, who's also,
Megan
of
Shutt.
course, a really good seamer. Yeah, so she.
Yeah.
It could very well be that she and Sutherland will open the batting, and then this youngster Hamilton might come in the first change. I haven't seen much of Hamilton, but she does sound like an exciting prospect.
Yeah, I just think left on pace, like anyone that can bowl semi decent with the left on pace is worth gold. Um, so yeah, let's have a look at the what. Okay, can we have a look at? There we go. Let's have a look at India's squad before we move on. India, not declining in some way, but they're also still a very good team. They've got Smriti Mandana. Of course, India did beat us in the 50 over World Cup. Yastika Bharti.
I'm here, so
Mani,
I'll get the.
yeah.
I've got the Indian
Mani,
names.
go ahead.
So
Go
obviously,
ahead,
so as you've mentioned, Mandana is the vice captain and will probably end up being the Indian captain after Harmanpreet retires. Harmanpreet, of course, is 37 years old. She might be getting on a little bit. And Harmanpreet's been a brilliant servant for a long time, batting all-rounder, of course. And, a lot's going to depend on Mandana, but she hasn't really been in the best form. India did play England earlier today, and Richa Ghosh, the wicketkeeper batswoman, she had a brilliant innings of 68, I think, where India very nearly stole victory, only for England's bowlers to, have the last laugh. And then, of course, you've got Jemima Rodrigues. It's not Rodriguez, it's Rodrigues, because it's a Portuguese thing, of course. Just like a Bruno Fernandes for our football fans, Nuno Mendes and others. Shafali Verma is also another young batswoman who is expected to do well. I will be honest with you, I'm not too sure I know too much about this lady, Parthi Fulmali. She seems to be a veteran who's come in to the side. I don't even know if she'll get to play too many games with the batting order being as stacked as it is. But if there is a batswoman who's out of form, she might find a way in. And then, of course, Yashtika Bhatia has already played in 3 tests and, a combined total of 50 limited overs internationals, 28 ODIs and 22 T20s. And pretty decent record in T20s. She hasn't hit a century, but she does have 4 ODI 50s and 1 T20 50. I think it could very well be that she will open the innings along with Mandana, with maybe Richard Ghosh to come in later on in the middle, and then Harmanpreet Kaur can come in either at 1 or first or second drop, with Rodrigues also expected to play a role. Deepti Sharma, more than decent all-rounder, along with Shriyanka Patil. So someone much younger. Then the bowlers, this is going to be interesting. Obviously, Radha Yadav has played for quite a bit of time, more than useful left-arm spinner, someone who will be expected to keep it a bit tight. And then Sri Chalani, another left-arm spinner, Renika Singh, who might end up opening the bowling along with either Arundhati Reddy or maybe Kranti Gaur. Both these 2 top bowlers I think I seem to remember, Hanno, when India came to South Africa to play, these two bowlers actually did quite well in those conditions. So a lot will be expected of them. So this is a pretty decent squad. The only problem is, it's like the batting is so dependent on three players: the captain, Harmanpreet Kaur, the vice captain, Smriti Mandhana, and then Richa Ghosh has been in wonderful recent form. But a lot has been expected of, Rodrigues, and I'm not too sure how her recent form has been. In fact, if you take a look at Rodrigues' recent form, she has, she actually did well in a T20 which was played in Johannesburg, I think, scoring 43. But then her other returns have not really been that good. And then in an ODI against England at Chelmsford, she scored a 69, but her returns have dried up a bit. So you have a problem here where the senior players are just not being able to really pull their weight. And it could very well be that if India fail to really progress in this tournament, this could very well be the end of one or two international careers. I don't see Harmanpreet continuing. And as far as Smriti Mandhana is concerned, she is the vice captain. But, her recent form also has to be studied a little bit. And this is why I love cricket, though, because you get to see the recent most games. And even if you take a look at Smriti, she hasn't really been quite as consistent as you would like. Some useful... Well, actually, I mean, she has had some useful scores of 30 odd in the T20s, but... nothing really much in between, and you would expect her to be one person to take up a lot of the responsibility. So this is a good squad on paper. I just don't think that they're going to be able to handle the pressure very much, and this is why I think they will end up finishing third, because Australia are stacked and they're hungry, and we'll come to South Africa in a minute. But I think once we take a look at the squad, you can both agree that your players are just in better form at the moment. And, just taking a look at Harmanpreet, she's actually been quite consistent in terms of T20s, scores of 47 not out and 66 in the T20 series when India played South Africa. I think 110, 122, 169 runs in that 5-match test series. And then, of course, she scored 56 not out against England a few days ago. So a lot will be falling on her shoulders, and she has been consistent, but she's also the oldest player in the team. I just think that's why I don't see India, being able to finish higher than third. And this could very well be the end of Harmanpreet's career. So there's going to be a lot of, regeneration that needs to take place in the India team.
I wouldn't say I think their bowling is their biggest concern, because batting-wise, we've got Mandhana, you've got Richa Ghosh, you've got Rodrigues, Shefali Verma as well, Harmanpreet Kaur, and Deepti Sharma. So you're sitting there with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 very good batsmen. And then bowling-wise...
That's women.
Yeah.
Batswoman, sorry. And then you're looking at the bowling. It's really only the two women you mentioned that has to carry this attack, almost.
No, I think, as I said, I think Arundavi Reddy will have a role to play. Kranti Gaud could also look quite good. And as I said, Hanno, some of the batswomen are slightly out of form. So they've got to start clicking together as a unit. And today's match they played against England in the warm-up, only Richa Ghosh was able to get anything above 20, and she got 68. So that's going to be a problem with this Indian team. They've got to start, really clicking as a team and really contributing equally, not letting one person do all the work.
Just want to come in there finally. Like you said, Mo, I agree with you. For me, the top, if India want to go further in this competition in the group, the top 4 or 5 need to perform. Like you said, Smriti Mandhana, Shefali Verma, Jamina Rodrigues. For me, because that is if a side is going to put them under pressure, then you have a Richa Ghosh, but like you said today as well, I watched that warm up game earlier today as well. Only Richard got the score. So the top 4 or 5 need to step up in this competition.
Yeah. No, agree. Jan-Lou, will you do the South African women's squad?
Yeah, that is a very good. Looking at South Africa's team for this World Cup, we have the captain, the experience of Laura Wolfhard, as well with Tasman Brits. Like just stand still quite here by Tasman Brits. She's on and off at the moment, then she, but also because she's batting free, then one. For we know the opening, the Tasman Brits and Wolfhard opened a lot for South Africa, but now that is Wolfhard and Sunay lose. So the question for me is the question is I like the opening because I like Sunay at number opening with Wolfhard because for me if she's not coming in like in 3 and 4 she struggles to get runs. So I like the opening pair with Wolfhard at least. Then I think we have also Yafta or Meso. I don't know if you guys see Meso played in the warm up game. It was against New Zealand yesterday. She did quite well. And we have the Yafta. Then we have the all rounders there for South Africa. The all rounders, we know the experience of Marizon Cup, Danai van Niekerk, um, um, Nadine, look at our stack, Nadine Clark, Dirksen, Cup, Sunay, Kyla Reineke, young experience. I'm actually keep an eye on her. I want to talk about her now. Chloe Tryon and Danai van Niekerk. For me, that is absolutely the question is who's going to play because there is somebody that is going to miss out in the team. So I will quite the opening pair will be Wolfhard for the competition. Wolfhard, Sunailis, and opening the batting. Then in third place we will be seeing Danai van Niekerk with Marizon Cup. I think Dirksen is going to miss out there. With the keeper, the experience of Yafta will be there down as well. Then will be having Chloe Tryon and Nadine Clark. That will be. Then I want to stand still here by the bowlers. Mo, I want to bring you in here quickly. Are we going to play with three? Are we going to play Ismail and Kaka? And probably, I think it will be Ismail and Kaka, and then the one spinner of Molaba.
You've got to mention a name,
Yeah,
Marizon
Kyla.
Cup. Where do you
Yeah.
see her fitting in?
I think she can also bowl, like I said. She's a good experience. She will open. She, like you said, Manu. Isma will take the new ball. Cup and Isma will take the new ball, I think. And then I think Kyla Reineke is going to be experienced. We know what she can do. So school of Bible. She is a great finisher, but the question is in the circumstances of the pressure situation, can she handle it? So if you look at her side, it is a Chloe Tryon. I want to mention her name. She's a great finisher as well for South Africa. She scored yesterday 61 of 28 balls in the warm-up match against New Zealand. So if you look at her side, the question is, can they win the World Cup this year? Let's see. It will be good. We have the players. They must just deliver. And look at those. I don't know. I know you agree with me. We have good batting all rounders in the middle and good bowlers as well. So this team is hopefully for the best for them.
I think I like this team. The only thing is, once again, is the middle order. Because I feel like we've got good openers, Wolfhard, Loose, or Brits, and then we've got good finishers in the Clark, Tryon. It's Cup, Fanika, Darkson if she plays. They need to make sure we can handle the middle overs, especially if we lose early wickets. But bowling wise, I'm confident we should be fine. Ishmael bringing her back out of retirement alongside Danai Fanika.
The question is there, Anu, like you said, the question is like you said, when we lose early wickets, the pressure is the South African women team also they like want to see like if Wolfhard, Sunay, and Brits not getting runs, then immediately the pressure is in the middle orders, and like you said, the middle orders need to step up because we cannot always deliver like a Wolfhard need to score runs or a Brits or Sunay. But like I said, in the middle order, we have the experience. Madison Cup, Tanay van Niekerk. A little bit on the older side, like you see, they're 32 years of age, Tanay van Niekerk. But I think that this will be their last cup and the van Niekerk's last World Cup. But the question is how importance of the good running between the wickets as well for the South African side. We know the finishers, Nadine Clark and Chloe Troy can easily score for you. If we need 40 in the last 3 overs, we but could get it. But like you say, if we're going to lose early wickets, who's going to step up? And that's 100% agree.
And also, I think you need to take into account the mental side of this losing back-to-back finals, or no, it's 3 finals actually. What we lost the T20 one in South Africa, we lost the ODI, and we lost the T21. So that's 3 finals we've lost in a row. That's gonna play an effect on all of them, and most of them have played in all three or at least one of the finals, except Kayla Reineke, and I think Chumiseka Kun, who has played in, and Gabaru Mesu hasn't played in one. But except those two, all of them have played in at least one of those final losses. So, yeah, it is a very good squad. I'm just fearful of the mental side, and that's why, fortunately, I've got us coming in third, missing out. I don't think we'll make that.
I disagree.
I don't think we'll qualify. I think India will qualify.
No. Listen, I'm going to disagree with both of you. I mean, it's shocking to see a South African fan saying that you won't even make the next stage of the tournament. I mean, listen.
I think we can make it. We can make it. I think we can make it.
Yeah. I actually remember, Hanno, working with you on the World Cup when I believe it was hosted in South Africa. And of course, you lot beat England in the semi-final. Heather Knight was England captain that time. And you went on to make the final. And we were covering the final together. And every time a South African wicket fell down, I mean, I remember your reaction. I kind of felt for you because there was no way I was really... I could never cheer for Australia under any circumstances. But as you've mentioned, quite a few of these players are, of course, veterans of several of those failed campaigns. Chloe Tryon, in particular, in addition to being a really strong batswoman, she also happens to be a very handy left-arm spinner who does a pretty decent job. Although I think Nonkululeko Malaba will probably be your best spinner easily. Bringing Shabnam Ismail out of retirement, I don't know if she still has the pace of old, but definitely, you know, with fast bowlers, you still have the guile and the ability to work out the opposition. And of course, I'm really happy for Danny van Niekerk. The issues that I have, though, is I just checked out Tasman Brits' form. It's been very, very fitful of late. And you will also remember that there was quite a time when she was normally trusted to open the batting with Laura Wolvaert, who has literally been the lone wolf in this team. You saw what I did there, right? Wolvaert. And, you know, her form has been outstanding, but Brits has really looked fitful, and that's why you've actually brought Sune Loose up from one drop to open. And then if you end up deciding to rejig the batting order to try to get some form players to come in, I think you mentioned, Janlu, that Tamsin Brits might not even make the starting lineup. So it's going to be interesting to see what sort of batting lineup you put out. But I just think that when I see South Africa as a team, you always have a knack of being able to, you know, perform well as a unit. Even if it is, you know, Wolvaert, who pretty much hogs the headlines as a batswoman. As you mentioned, you've got Nadine de Klerk, you've got Chloe Tryon, who finish it well. The middle order could be a weakness, and it will be interesting to see if Van Niekerk gets picked, how she will play. And I'm happy for her that she and Cappy get to play another tournament together, as I've said. And even with the bowling as well, Ismail seems to be the only frontline seamer, although you've got Sekakune and Kaka. Oh, yeah, Ayabonga Kaka. So those two might probably open the bowling with maybe Sekakune to come in as first change, or maybe you might end up selecting a medium pace bowling all-rounder like it could very well be the Cup ends up coming in. So for the sake of balance, you leave out Sekakune and bring in one or two spinners. So I still think that, you have the whether or not you actually go on to win the tournament will remain to be seen. But I just think that seeing the way you played against India when India came to South Africa to play, I think you've got the edge over India. So Australia to top the group, South Africa to finish second. And I mean, I'd like to see India, come good, but then we'll see what happens. And that's why they call this the group of death. It could very well be that out of South Africa and India, whichever team fails to make it, that's going to be the end of the careers of several players from either team.
I agree, Demo. I think South Africa second with Australia. I think Australia, like Chelsea fans said as well. Australia and South Africa and India. We 100% agree.
Okay.
Anu, what do you think? So.
I just think the mental side. I'd back us to beat Pakistan, Netherlands, and Bangladesh.
Yeah, that's of course. Yeah.
But we have our big games first. So if you look at who we're playing, we play Australia, Pakistan, and India. Those are our first big three games. So if we don't get a win out of two of these, then we are under pressure. And I feel like you don't want to immediately start with the big games. Usually, you wanna start off with one of the lesser teams so you can just build momentum. But we just don't. The lack of the fixture schedule just isn't like that for us.
Well, let's see, man. Let's see. You don't know. I now agree. I think South Africa, Australia will top that pool.
Yeah. And then Group 2.
This is for me.
Scotland coming last, or Ireland?
It's going to be a real fight to see who comes in last between Scotland and Ireland. But, I think when they play each other quite early in the tournament, this could very well decide who finishes last. But expect this game to be very competitive. Two Celtic nations, they do like to fight hard as cricketers. It could very well be that Scotland might finish last because Ireland just have a little bit more in terms of cricketing pedigree. But, it's going to be a competitive game, and it's that Celtic derby. England, Ireland, Scotland in the same group. You've got that whole intrigue about British Isles teams. That's going to be a very interesting game, and I think that will be very, very competitive. I just think Ireland might end up edging Scotland, but you will get some decent. It will be competitive.
Like you said, they are playing. Saturday, the first match of the Saturday, Ireland and Scotland are taking on each other. So that, like you said, Mo, that will probably decide who will finish in the last place for this group. But like you said, that should be also one of a game to keep an eye out on.
I think for me, I think Scotland will finish above Ireland. I think personally.
Yeah.
What do you think, Jan-Lu? Ireland?
That's like Maud said, that game will decide, because I think at the moment Scotland's recent form, I don't know their recent form, but I think Ireland, I probably think Ireland will. I don't know, but if I must give a call there, I think Ireland will finish in the bottom, then Scotland the head of it. But you don't know. Looking forward, maybe we see a couple of upsets. Is this the World Cup upset here? We must see, but let's see, Mo. What do you think?
Yeah, that's two. So that's two for Scotland and one for Ireland. So that's a 2-1 split. We'll see how this works. As I said to you backstage, Jan-Lu, the men have done really well from these nations, but the women have not quite been able to make the strides. But again, they struggle for funding at times, and they just play for the love of the game, and that's why you do enjoy watching this. And of course, when we had the men's T20 World Cup, we had Italy playing, so that was really interesting. South African Wayne Madsen was captaining Italy, but that poor fella's tournament got over very quickly.
Yeah. And then Sri Lanka or Sri Lanka or West Indies, or do you guys think maybe Sri Lanka to get into that second spot? Because I don't know. First place, I've got New Zealand coming in first. I don't know, what do you guys think?
Chandler, you can go first.
Yeah, I think Sri Lanka will finish in the third place. Then, like I said, the top two for me, I think West Indies is just going to miss out. I think, like you said, I know 100% New Zealand and England will go through in that pool. For me, we know the West Indies have big names, Hayley Matthews, and Joseph in the opening, Andra Totten, but they consistent. They need to be consistency if they want to maybe give New Zealand or England the upset game. But I'm 100%. I will go with England and New Zealand in the second place.
Okay. I think England might disappoint. Let's have a look at England's squad quickly. So I'm gonna have a look at this squad before I make my judgment. So Sophia Dunkley, Amy Jones,
out
Eddie
of
Knight.
form. Sophia Dunkley out of form at the moment as well. So they will probably be opening with. I don't know, Mo. I don't think Sophia Dunkley has been out of form. Danny White-Hurst maybe opening with Amy Jones. What do you think?
Yes, it could very well be that Danny White-Hodge opens with Amy Jones, and we can actually check out Sophia Dunkley's form in her recent games. A couple of in terms of T20, she's been a bit disappointing. A high score of 26, then 22, and then 16, 10, and 16. In the ODIs, she's played a couple of first-class ODIs, List A, as you would call them, and only got a couple of 30s. So, her form is going to be a bit of a concern, and, Charlotte Edwards will have a lot of work to do in terms of trying to pick a team there. So it could very well be that Amy Jones and Danny White-Hodge will open the batting, I should say. And then, of course, you've got Skiver Brunt and ex-captain Heather Knight to sort of come in. Maybe someone like an Alice Capsey, the batting all-rounder, can also come in. England's bowlers have been doing really well, but the biggest problem is, their relative lack of all-rounders other than Skiver Brunt. I think the thing is, maybe Skiver Brunt and Capsey and Charlie Dean will have roles to play. And, of course, Amy Jones will be expected to take up wicket-keeping duty, so that pretty much deals with 6 of the 11. And then, of course, from the bowlers, Eccleston finds a way in, probably one of the best spin bowlers in the world. This girl, lady named Courtine Coleman, 18 years old, another left-arm spinner. The thing is, there are 3 left-arm spinners here. You've got Eccleston, you've got Smith, you've got Courtine Coleman. So I'm not too sure if England will want to field a necessarily spin-heavy attack. So one of Smith or Coleman will miss out. It'll probably be Bell and Filer to open the bowling. If not Filer, then Izzy Wong could come in for Filer with maybe, if you want some medium pace, Skiver Brunt could come in and provide some first change action. And then, then if you have to pick 2 spinners, it'll probably be Eccleston and Smith to come in with Courtine Coleman sort of taking a break a bit. Although Courtine Coleman has been in really good form, so it will be a shootout between her and the much older Lindsay Smith to determine who gets in to the 11. So that's Bell and Filer. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I must just change the Women's Cricket World Cup 22. We're talking now Group B. So you must just change that to Group B.
Yeah. So that's 4 bowlers selected. I'd probably go with Lauren Bell Lauren Filer, Sophie Eccleston, and Leslie Smith. That's four. And then, obviously, from the batswomen's perspective, you've got Danny White-Hodge and Amy Jones opening the batting. Sadly, there's no room for Tammy Beaumont or Maya Boucher. I just think they haven't really been able to play themselves into form enough. So a lot of pressure will be on them to try to do as well as they can. And then Nats Giver-Brunt and Heather Knight, that's another four. And so this gives you the opportunity to pick the remaining three who will probably end up being all-rounders. Since we've got two left-arm spinners, you can definitely go for someone like an Alice Capsey, or Charlie Dean definitely gets into the team as vice-captain. Alice Capsey comes in. And maybe someone like Freya Kemp, who also provides a good seam option, can definitely, do a pretty good job. So that's the 11. Wyatt Hodge, Amy Jones, Heather Knight, Nats Giver-Brunt, and then the all-rounders, Alice Capsey, maybe Freya Kemp, Charlie Dean, Lauren Bell, Sophie Eccleston, Lindsay Smith, and then Lauren Filer, and that would be your 11. So you don't really have that much in terms of there aren't too many all-rounders, but there are some. It's sort of looking to try to make sure you get the balance right more than anything else. And the most important thing is to make sure you pick players in form. But England are always going to be a threat on home conditions, and I was saying to you, Jean-Louis, that New Zealand will find it problematic defending their title. So I'm looking for England and New Zealand to easily qualify from this group, and it will be England on top, followed by New Zealand in second. So the only question is who will take third and fourth.
Yeah, I was gonna say something crazy, saying like England will miss out, but let's not be stupid. There's
yes, but we all know that when it comes to England, you can be a bit incorrigible at times.
Yeah, no, but there's another line between being stupid and being a bit crazy. Of your prediction, so England, New Zealand. I actually think England will top their group. So England, New Zealand, and then
probably
West Indies third. Why not?
Yeah.
Jan-Luc, what do you have?
Yeah, I'm having as well. I think England, New Zealand in second. We're third down. We will be having the West Indies, and then Sri Lanka, Ireland, and then Scotland. That is my top six. So don't forget the opening game. The opening game will be live on Anu's channel. It will be England, Sri Lanka. So we will talk about that later.
And I've just found out that it's going to be taking place at Edgbaston, so Lords won't be used for another day at least. So they're probably going to reset that pitch over at St. John's Wood and make sure it's fit for, use. And I'm actually going along with Jan-Lou's predictions. And, the England-West Indies game will be a grudge match because the last time the tournament was played in Dubai, it was actually the West Indies who beat England, knocking England out. And then the West Indies ended up going through. So, along with South Africa, I think. So England will definitely have a score to settle and a few points to prove. And for Heather Knight, who was captain that day, I think she will definitely want to make sure she, gets one over.
No, definitely. If we look at, so Mani, who's your first and second in?
First. I said I'm agreeing with Jean-Louis. So I've got England and New Zealand in first and second. I think the West Indies and Sri Lanka will take third and fourth. Ireland to be in fifth and Scotland to be in sixth. So we pretty much agree there. But there will be a lot of I don't predict any real shocks in terms of who will qualify and who won't. Yeah. But this group will also have some very competitive games. You can bet on.
No, definitely. First, just when saying West Indies, England, New Zealand. That's that would be absolutely amazing to see West Indies in the knockouts. But
that should. Let's see. Don't no.
So but so we're both going England and then New Zealand. So knockouts. I've got Australia up against New Zealand and India up against England.
I,
Ooh, ish. I don't
I
know.
think I,
Um, mm,
I think
yeah.
England against South Africa in one semi, and New Zealand and Australia in the other one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I've got too.
Uh,
Um, Geez, you guys can go first. I think decide who I want. What do you guys think once goes to the final then?
okay.
Shanley, you can go first.
Oh, actually,
So,
I want to say I think we're going from a South African point of view. I think a New Zealand, Australia, South Africa final.
so Australia gonna beat New Zealand, South Africa gonna beat England. Okay, Manny.
Well, I'm going to disagree. Obviously I've got Australia beating New Zealand, and that will end the White Ferns journey. But as
Yeah.
far as who's going to be in the final, I'm going for an Ashes clash. Australia against England.
Okay, I'll go Australia to beat New Zealand. I feel like Australia just with their
Uh,
form right now, they should win. Then England up against India. I actually think England won, and in then England Australia. I'm going back England. For some reason, I think England go all the way. I don't know. Your predictions for your finals? Ashes, money.
Shanley, Janley,
I
you can go
think
first.
I,
Okay.
I I think Australia, South Africa, Australia final, and then I think Australia going to win the final. Unfortunately,
Uh,
uh, I
now
would like
bracket.
to. The question is, I would like to. So, okay, let's. I will go like this. I think South Africa win the final this year. There we go. I'm just going to say that.
Hey,
We,
let's
we,
go.
we're going to beat Australia and we're going to win the final. We're going to lift the trophy for the first time.
Imagine. That would be absolute scenes if we won it.
But lots of work before that. We need, like you said, it is first the group matches that we must go through before we must take every team must take one game at a time and play what is in front of them. Then they're moving on to the next one. What do you think, Bob?
Yeah, well, I think it's fair to say that Australia are going to be quite strong, but of
Hmm.
course I do seem to remember, the last time around you played Australia in the semi-final and you beat them, only for things to transpire the way they did. So anything can happen, and there's a big part of me that would love to see England win, but I think Sophie Molyneux being a part of that Australia team that lost in the semi-final, she'd also have some scores to settle. This is why this tournament is going to be really impressive, because I think we all agree that New Zealand won't, in all likelihood, repeat their success, and the top teams, of course, will all have points to prove and scores to settle, and that's what's really going to give these games the edge. So I would love to see England reach the final.
Hmm.
You know what? To heck with it. We got Charlotte Edwards as coach. I'm going for England to win it.
England to win it, so me and Manny agree England and Jan going Aussies to or South Africa to win it.
Hmm.
Fair enough. I do think if we get to the semis, no, I can't say it. I said it too much that we're gonna win, and we just never win, do we? So, yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't. If we win,
Hmm.
that will be
That should
absolutely
be
massive.
good.
Uh,
I
I
know just
think,
tell the people that is what is coming up on the channel for the
yeah,
cricket.
yeah. So basically, with the cricket wise, so you've got the South Africa games will be done in Afrikaans between me and Janlu. We will rotate with them. That will also be on both of our channels, and then the other games will be me, Jan Lumani, and Gershon. I sort of seen them on the channel. He will also help out with covering some of the games. We won't be covering every game, just most
Yeah.
games. So have a look at the schedule, then we can give you guys like the games
Give them
still up
the
until
first 2 weeks maybe.
no up until
Sunday.
Tuesday basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
England women versus Sri Lanka will be doing
That's
that
a good-
game. Then you've got Ireland women up against Scotland. Australia women, South Africa, New Zealand women against West Indies. So the first 4 games. Then we will miss out on Bangladesh, Netherlands,
not doing that.
and then India women up against Pakistan, and then what did we say?
Who did
Then
New Zealand?
we've got New Zealand, Sri Lanka. We're gonna try to do that game.
Yeah.
And then England, Ireland. We will do
We'll
that
still
game.
decide.
So
No.
yeah. And Wednesday, we will skip those 2 games and just do Pakistan and South Africa. So yeah, and then
Yeah,
Thursday. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's currently the schedule at the moment. We must still decide on from next Thursday. If there's like I
from
said,
there on, we
must
still
still decide.
But yeah.
But don't forget the thumbnails will be coming out soon, and I will post it as soon as possible.
Yeah. So go with the trailer to win it.
Mo, what do you think? Yeah.
Just quickly, Chelsea
looking forward to the Cricket World Cup.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's the only World Cup. That's the only World Cup I'll be watching. It's the only World Cup I'll be watching, and should be very interesting indeed. I'm also going to try and keep an eye on the events between England and New Zealand for the men. Hannah, you probably will know this, but England are going to be without Ben Stokes and Angus Atkinson for the second test. Jofra Archer's come back into the squad. Rayan Ahmed might play ahead of Shoaib Bashir. And another big piece of news is that Joseph Edward Root will be captaining England once again.
Yeah. Root again. Root again. Yeah, I don't know. England is a headache. Really. Well, like you can't. Keeping up with what England are doing is very difficult, and what they are thinking as well. So, yeah, but it is what it is. Let's see how it affects you with the next test, especially both Gus Atkinson and Ben Stokes are probably 2 out of your 3 best bowlers, alongside Josh Dunn.
Yeah, well, look, Ollie Robinson's obviously come back into form. He had a 5 in the first innings.
Oh, yeah.
And,
okay, so, 2 of your best 5 bowlers, basically.
Yeah, but listen, like, obviously, when you take a look at the squad that England have picked, one good piece of news is that Jofra Archer has now found his way back into the team after the whole IPL kerfluffle. Personally, this is another reason why I'm not too fond of the IPL, because now it's as if players are so seduced by the prospect of earning so much money for so little work. They forget about the fact that, they're already contracted to their nations on good money. And Jean-Luc, Hannah and I were speaking about this. It's like, with regard to cricket in South Africa, the cricketers, both men and women, are being paid comparative pittance by the CBSA, the UCBSA, the UBCSA, the United Board for Cricket in South Africa, I think, that the T20 has now become the big money spinner. And there was even a situation where when you toured the West Indies, you had a more or less fringe team with the likes of David Bedingham and another guy who came back into the team after several years. being one of the stars. So I can understand South Africans wanting to go and play in the IPL, but Englishmen, Australians, they're already fairly well paid by their boards. So it's got to be a question of, you've got to decide if you really value money so much more than, playing for your country, just don't even bother wanting a contract. You don't get to have both the penny and the bun that way. That really isn't fair. And so I've got the squad over here. Rayan Ahmed, Jofra Archer, Sonny Baker, a young, talented seamer who I think had his debut but didn't really do very much, but he's been brought back in. Shoaib Bashir, I don't think he'll play. Then you've got Bethel, Brook, Jordan Cox, who's made his recovery from his broken thumb. Ben Duckett is, of course, still at the top of the order. Matthew Fisher, I don't think he'll play very much. Emilio Gay had a 50 in the second innings, followed by James Rue, Robinson, Jamie Smith, the wicketkeeper. Josh Tong is also very much a part of the attack now. I think he'll be expected to, maybe be a battering ram, but he is a little bit inaccurate at times. And then, of course, old reliable Joe Root captaining the team with Harry Brook as vice-captain. And the reason why they couldn't afford to name Brook as captain is because that idiot also was involved in a fracas in New Zealand when he was punched by, one of those nightclub security guards trying to get in. And it's as if, one thing I was saying to Jean-Loup backstage, Hannah, before you came on, is that when it comes to, drinking, both English and South African athletes love to have a drink or two. But South Africans, you seem to know how to conduct yourself better. And from the sounds of things, I think you can also hold your alcohol a lot better than we can.
Definitely no. We can. We definitely can. I think the problem of English is you guys are too arrogant, and that doesn't mix well with alcohol. So we are humble guys, South Africans. So when we get a few drinks in, we stay humble. We don't start pushing ourselves and hitting each other. I still want to know who is the Saracens player that was involved.
It's not a South African guy. It was some sort of New Zealand, Tongan, some chap. Let me just look up his name.
Who's the Saracens guy? Let's see. You don't want to mess with them. Saracens, Ben Stokes. Ben Stokes, who is it? Academy player. Okay, but which?
Totoa Alva.
Okay. Oh, I don't know who he is.
Yeah, this is why we've got Google, my friend. It's a 21-year-old rugby player in the Saracens Academy system. 6'5" tall, weighs 125 kilograms. I don't know what his nationality is. Is he Samoan or let's find out?
It's probably something in there.
Yeah, he's captained the Samoan under-20s Samoa A and is one of their leading prospects. But following the nightclub incident, his future may very well be uncertain. So does he end up trying to get a gig back in Australia or maybe New Zealand? We'll have to find out. But
6'5" and 125 kg.
Yeah. I want to, before we go, just want to figure out your top run scorer for the Women's World Cup and top wicket taker.
Ooh. Top run scorer. Hold up. That's.
I'm also struggling here to. I want to think currently.
Top wicket taker, I think will be. What's her face?
Playing.
Top
Megan
wicket taker,
Australia.
Sophie Eccleston will be the top wicket taker.
Cool. Okay, he's going something.
Top batter.
For me, there's only one option for the top batswoman, and that has to be the South African captain, Laura Vulva. I think she's going to continue her form and continue to really, dominate. It's hard to see many of the other batswomen being able to emulate that level of form. So I think she'll probably end up being very, very consistent. If not her, then, I'd like to see Heather Knight being maybe up there. Maybe this will be the tournament where she gets back into the form that made her really, really good. Don't discount Susie Bates. Let's see what see how well she does. And as far as wicket takers, it'll probably be a seamer. It could very well be Megan Schutt of Australia, or I don't know if Eccleston will take that many wickets, because unless it's really providing, unless the pitch is going to provide some help for the spinners, I can't see her being really effective. But, we'll see. But I think it'll be a seamer who gets it.
I will go with Lauren Bell and Laura Wolford. Like Mo said, I think Wolford is going to continue. If it's not Wolford, I will go with Melia Kerr in the second place.
The New Zealand captain. That's a good shout.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Aussie.
Okay.
For batter, I think I'm gonna go Sophie Molyneux.
That could be a good one as well.
So yeah, any last thoughts you guys want to add?
No, I'm going to sign off. I'm going to say thank you, Anu, for having me, and looking forward to the live commentary of the matches that you and Mo going to do. It was a privilege, and looking forward to the T20 Women's World Cup starting all on Friday. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Do quickly shout your channel.
Guys. You can find me on YouTube at Jadobrand, or you can just go to Instagram. You can search at Jadobrand. You will find me currently on 697 followers on YouTube, sitting on 3,045 subscribers. So, yeah,
go drop him a follow, sub, and then you will be working together with the cricket stuff. So that's all from my side. To everyone, and then I will see you all tomorrow for when Bafana beats Mexico. Cheers, people.
You're too confident, aren't you, Hannah? Cheers.
cheers.